Hey, what's up? It's everybody out there. Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk. I'm your host, C Money. We are back in downtown Fort Lauderdale for part 2 of downtown Fort Lauderdale. We ended our video here watching the tracks bridge go down, which there will probably be a white line train coming because, as you saw earlier in part 1, there was a freight train that went through and we had to pause the video because we didn't want to show the whole train taking up the whole video space. And now we are here back at the Riverwalk, which is a walking area near the downtown Fort Lauderdale area. And what I'm doing with these videos is I'm comparing downtown Fort Lauderdale to downtown Miami, to what you think is better in far as the nightlife, the shopping, the entertainment, and everything. And with that's a whole nother different scenario. Broward and Miami, they are similar in certain cases. Number one, they are similar because they both have government buildings and they both have financial buildings all around the downtown areas, throughout downtown Fort Lauderdale and throughout downtown Miami. Number two, they both have City Hall, but Miami City Hall is the county hall. It's not the city hall, it's the county hall. The city of Miami's city hall is in Coconut Grove. Downtown Miami hosts the county mayor and the county commissioner. Downtown Fort Lauderdale has the city of Fort Lauderdale City Hall. So it should be a bright line coming because I heard that the train tracks was coming down. And it's coming from, it's going to, hopefully it's going to Orlando. That is white line. Yep. So now we're going to take a walk back up the street that was white line, of course. And that might be one of the trains going to Orlando, because when me and my friend came up here last time when we visited, we ended up taking white line because they had a cheap fare for like $10 to come up to Fort Lauderdale, and we took it. And our train was only going to West Palm Beach. It wasn't going nowhere else. But they had several trains that was going to Orlando, but like I know certain trains only stops up to West Palm Beach, because when White Line first started their service, they was only going from Miami to West Palm Beach, and they only had Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach. Then they added the Aventura station and they added the Boca Raton station a few years later. And then last year they started, in 2023, they started service to Orlando. And I'm quite sure they're going to stop putting more bus services out there. Okay, this is Bodega, but we're not going to go to Bodega. We're going to walk off. And this is, like, as I told you, this is certain areas that at nighttime, this gets real packed and it gets real rich. Like, you would never think that this, like what you see now, is not what you see come 3-4 hours from now. You're gonna see this is a Bodega Club. That's where they have a bar and everything and stuff like that. Bodega is one of my very few restaurants that I do like, and they have several locations. They also have a location at the Casella Center, which is the home of the Miami Heat. And I believe they're supposed to get a location at the Hard Rock Stadium, which is home of the Miami Dolphins. I've visited several of their locations. I've only eaten from that location, which is the one here. But I've seen the one, if you've ever, my last video I did in Coconut Grove, I probably walked by the Bodega, because they do have a Coconut Grove location. I probably walked by it. I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but I probably walked by it. But they do have a Coconut Grove location. I did see, I don't know if I mentioned it as well, but I know I walked by the location. They have a West Palm Beach location as well. When I did the video of West Palm Beach a while back, when I visited West Palm Beach, I did stumble upon a Bodega, and I actually, I was like, wow, I actually stumbled upon a Bodega in West Palm Beach. The original Bodega sits on South Beach on 17th Street and off of Alton Road. I believe 17th and Alton. It sits right off of 17th and Alton, if I'm not mistaken. And they started branching out to various locations. Their next location, they became they had a location at the Kaseya Center. If you go on their website, you can check it out. They had a location at the Kaseya Broward County Government Center. So this is the Broward County offices. This is where all of the offices for the entire county, not just the city of Fort Lauderdale, but for the entire county here. We are going to take a walk this way. Did we go this way? I believe we went this way. Yeah. I'm going to show you the library, the front of the library, and the areas in front of the library, because they do have a historical building over in front of the library. But yeah, this is the Broward County Government Office. Like I said, a lot of Miami, downtown Miami and downtown Fort Lauderdale, this is the paratransit stop. They're kind of similar because they have a lot of government buildings and offices and financial buildings, like banks and financial institutions down there. And they have colleges and schools, because there's a couple of colleges, there's a couple of schools down here that, down here. So they're kind of similar, they're kind of alike. This is a garage here. This is the Auto Nation building. If you can see it from up there, and it says it right here, First Avenue Auto Nation building garage. We're back at Andrews Avenue. We're gonna go see FAU, Broward College, which is Florida Atlantic University. Florida Atlantic University is their main campus is in Boca Raton, and it's not too far from my favorite spot, if you guessed it, Boomers. They're right down the street from Boomers. And you can probably, if you're traveling from 95, you can see, I believe, their athletic field, which is probably their football field. And they're not too far. They're maybe less than a 5-minute drive away from Boomers, and stuff like that. And FAU has several locations in Broward, in the Broward area. They have several locations, just like Miami-Dade College and other colleges have several locations. We're going to cross the street here, see if I can get across the street, because apparently this is the main library. I visited here once, maybe a few years back, but since I'm not a Broward County resident, I can't really, unless I use a Wi-Fi or something like that for a computer or something, you can't get a library card from them. I'm going to show you, they do have county commissioners and they do have a county mayor, which is okay, because it says Broward County Board of County Commissioners. Because I don't know, not these places. That's the library. We're gonna walk this way. We're gonna come this way. Adventure begins at your library. I know this building here is a historical building. It is the federal courthouse and city hall is straight above, but the city hall is under construction. So you're not going to get too much out of the city hall. We're going to walk this way. This, I believe, it's a historical building, but I don't know. Normally you have a sign that says something about this building. I believe it's a historical building. This is the Fort Lauderdale Women's Club. Okay, here it is. Fort Lauderdale's Women's Club. Founded January 11, 1911, with 18 members, this volunteer service club has been a major contributor to community development. This clubhouse, built by George W. Young, August, whatever that name is, Grieg or whatever, on land donated by Frank and Ivy Stranahan, was dedicated May 18, 1917, and remains in continuous use. Now, 1991 through 1992, we dedicate this International Women's Club and Clubhouse to those of the past who are remembered, to those of the present who remember, and to those of the future who read of the past and find renewed hope. So apparently that, because you know they have, those little black markings. This is the Fort Lauderdale Women's Club that was built in 1911, I'm sorry. Now this used to be a little walking area, but they had to close this off in certain areas because the homeless people used to come here. Historical walkway. On March 27, 1986, the Fort Lauderdale Historical Society dedicated this historical walkway as its gift to the citizens of Fort Lauderdale on the occasion of the city's 75th birthday. The walkway recognizes significant individuals and events in Fort Lauderdale's history, and over time will extend through the city's cultural and commercial center. The annual addition of persons and events no sooner than 10 years after the death or occurrence will be an annual gift from the society to the city. The society envisions no end to the walkway. Its only desire is that future selections create a walkway as diverse, adaptable, and imaginative as Fort Lauderdale's history and the spirit of its people. Trustees of the Fort Lauderdale Historical Society, trustees emeritus. Okay, this is a historical walkway. Now, they had closing the riparian rights lawsuit 1914 to 1918. In 1914, the Fort Lauderdale City Council authorized the city attorney Jacob Bunn to institute a lawsuit to determine who owned the property rights to the bank of the New River. Council's action was motivated in part by the protests of the Fort Lauderdale Women's Club against the presence of unsightly fish houses along the river. Town of Fort Lauderdale versus Mary Brickell pitted the government against some of the city's most influential citizens. Both sides based their arguments on the intentions of those who originally platted the town in 1895. In the end, however, the Florida Supreme Court ruled in favor of Fort Lauderdale, thus ensuring public control of the riverfront. Okay. Oh, there's more of this. William Henry Marshall, 1876 to 1956. When Fort Lauderdale was incorporated in 1911, William H. Marshall was elected to be its first mayor. He had settled along the New River in 1899, soon becoming one of the area's major vegetable growers and marketeer of winter crops directly to northern buyers. Marshall was elected to the state legislature in 1915 when Broward County was created. There he championed such causes as Everglades drainage and women's suffrage. Throughout his life, Marshall remained a civil and business leader, and he was a founding member of the Chamber of Commerce, helped establish the first Methodist Church, lobbied for the beautification of the New River, worked to secure a deeper way. And in 1947, after he passed his birthday, he once again became a public servant. He was appointed to fill the vacancy of the Fort Lauderdale City Commission. Okay. So there's a lot of memories behind this. There's more. David Clifford Alexander, that's one. And also Napoleon Bonaparte Broward. Okay. Now we're gonna come back this way. There's a lot of history behind. So Broward basically was created in 1911. And I didn't want to read all of it. I didn't want to go through a whole, like they had a whole bunch of stuff to read. I didn't want to go through all of it, a lot of the stuff. But if you do walk down it, walk through it. We are now crossing Broward Boulevard. Now, this is an area that was frequented by homeless people. And it was a little mini park area or anything that was part of First Avenue Water Main Replacement Project, City of Fort Lauderdale. This was an area where the homeless people used to sleep in, but they stopped the homeless people from sleeping in there by closing the gate off, and I guess they were trying to beautify the area. Now this is Broward Boulevard. Broward Boulevard goes way out as far as, I'm guessing, the beach, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but I know it goes far way out west as far as the Sunrise area. So we're gonna go back this way. We're gonna go back this way. Hold on right quick, I got my shoe. Give me a minute. But as you can see, this is, I believe, part of the women's club as well. And it was an area where the homeless people frequently slept at. And a few years back, the Broward County commissioners in Broward County, the government, the city over, said, hey, we have to close this off. Because this is basically open to the public for people to say, okay, let's come over here, let's, you can walk around, take a, it's like a little nature walk, but it's not really a nature walk. And then it got to the point where, the homeless people started camping out here, and then the people was like, this is not safe, and this is not right, and everything of that nature. So they started saying, hey, let's just close this off to the homeless people, so they won't come in. So here we are now walking down Broward Boulevard, which is the main street to me in Broward County. Broward Boulevard is one of the main streets in Broward County. To me, it divides the northern part of Broward from the southern part of Broward. That's what I think of it. There's a McDonald's right there. I really don't know what this building is, but we're going to we're back at Brickell Avenue, which I told you in the first video where they have a Brickell. This is a parking garage. We're gonna go further down and then loop over, because this is a parking garage for the government center. So there's a lot of history in downtown Miami. There's a lot of history in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Only thing about downtown, the difference between downtown Miami and downtown Fort Lauderdale is basically shopping. Because you can go shopping in downtown Miami, but there's not too many shops in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Like, here's the thing about this. Downtown Fort Lauderdale has a lot of restaurants and lively entertainment. Downtown Miami has a lot of shops and restaurants. They don't have a lot of lively night entertainment or meaning clubs and bars, anything of that nature. So when you go to downtown Miami, you're basically there to shop and eat, and probably go to a court case or a court date or something, or you're going to a government building. When you go to downtown Fort Lauderdale, you're going to the court, a government building, or whatever, to eat and drink at a bar and listen to some good music. Because you're not going to you know, shop in downtown Fort Lauderdale, because I have came several times to downtown Fort Lauderdale and have not seen. They might have some clothing stores on the outskirts of downtown Fort Lauderdale, but mostly they're restaurants and this is the street where some of the clubs are. I'm going to show you the front end of the Museum of Discovery and Science, and I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to loop around and come back this way because we're going to end our video here at down at the Broward Central Terminal. They call it Broward Central Terminal, but that's their version of their downtown bus terminal, because you know our Miami bus terminal is downtown Miami, but Miami does have several bus terminals, and Broward County does have several bus terminals. They have the Broward Central Terminal, they have the West Terminal, which is on Broward Boulevard but on the west side. They have a Northeast Transit Center, which is another bus terminal in the northern part near, I think, Pompano Beach, near that area. They have a Lauderdale Transit Center in Lauderdale. They have they have several bus terminals here in Broward. Miami has several as too. They have an Aventure Mall terminal. They have a Red Road Transit Hub, a downtown bus terminal, a Albany bus terminal, or Agent Arts Center Metro bus terminal. They have several terminals in Miami as well too. But I think Miami has more than Broward. But Broward has several. Okay, now we're coming up to, I'm guessing this is 4th Avenue or 4th Street, Southwest. I know it's one of them because this is where you're going to see the outskirts of the Museum of Discovery and Science. This is the outside play of the Museum of Discovery and Science, where you can play on the outside. They have like outside play. It's not like a water park or nothing like that where you can go play in the water. No, they have like outside play and everything. And on the next to it is a 7-Eleven, of course. Now we're gonna cross the street because we're now we're going past our area. To get an understanding of downtown Fort Lauderdale, you have to take a walk and get an understanding of how Fort Lauderdale is. This is, we're gonna walk down this street and loop around because I'm gonna take you on a little White Line tour, because this is where White Line Fort Lauderdale Station sits. No, well actually we're just gonna go walk down this way. We're getting close towards our ending of our show, so I'm just gonna give you an outer look of the White Line Station. We're not gonna go inside the White Line Station. I don't have a ticket and stuff like that say, oh, okay, I'm gonna go inside the White Line Station. No, so I'm not gonna go on the White Line Station. If you ever been on White Line, it's beautiful. Last time I went on there, they gave us complimentary snacks and stuff. It was because the train was delayed for about a good hour or so. Probably around close to an hour the train was delayed. So I guess Me and my friend, we had different seats because, you know, we purchased our seats online, and, you know, they probably gave us different seats. But then the lady told us, okay, if you sit together, you know, long as nobody's sitting around, I mean, it doesn't matter where you sit, just long, you know, just know. Because I wanted to sit next, you know, in the same area as my friend. And then I guess they gave everybody complimentary snacks because the train was delayed. And I think because the train was coming from Orlando, and I think that's another thing that you have to look at when it comes to like stuff like that. Like, since now this train goes to Orlando, you're probably going to have something delayed. But I was told when I first started taking Brightline that they have to be on time because of the fact that they're sharing the tracks with the Florida East Coast Railway, or whatever you call them, Florida East Coast. So this is the Gore building, which is a government or county building, and they have to be on time because they share the tracks, just like with Tri-Rail. Tri-Rail share their tracks with Amtrak, and they also share their tracks with, you know, the freight trains, you know, CSX and the Florida East Coast Railway, stuff like that. The CSX, I think, owns the tracks. There's the water tower. There is the Brightline station. You have to go inside of the station to actually get the Brightline. This is, I think, a emergency exit. This is not an entrance, so you'll have to go inside the Brightline station to actually get it. So now we are going to end our show over here. Now, the difference between Miami's downtown bus terminal and Broward downtown bus, there's over 10 to 20, there's over 15 buses that serve here. I would say close to 15 buses. I don't know the exact count, but there's like close to 15 buses that do serve this bus station. And the good thing about this bus station, even though they don't use it, they have crosswalks to get to and from the bus areas. Like here, see this crosswalk here? You use that to get to and from the bus bay areas, but they don't use them anymore. It's blocked off and locked. So you just walk the little crosswalk that they have in the middle of it. Now, you have buses here that'll take you far south as Miami, Aventura Mall, and you have some that'll take you far north as Boca Raton, which is Palm Beach. So you have some that'll take you everywhere, from the east to the west. And this was, I believe, probably built in the 80s. Best place to be because this place here is like, it is crowded, it gets overcrowded with the homeless, with a lot of the homeless people who hangs out here, a lot of people who hangs out this area, so it gets real crowded. Hold on, I'm gonna give me a drink of water. Oh no. Restroom area. Now we're gonna look at the bus bridge or the bus board to see how many buses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14. There are 14 routes but 16 buses. No, there are 14 buses but 16 routes. And when I say 16, that's because 2 of the buses do not actually end their stops here. They continue going east and west, which is bus 11 and bus 40. And you have other buses there, and the rest of the buses, they end their routes here, because most of them are in their routes here. So this is it. This is Broward Central Terminal. Now we are at the end of our show. I want you to know what you think about downtown Fort Lauderdale. Is it nicer? I believe, okay, here's my opinion about downtown Fort Lauderdale. I like it because the nightlife is rich, the nightlife is good, and the nightlife is fun. And they have a bus terminal that has several bus routes, and a bus terminal looks like a bus terminal. They have a restroom, they have vending machines for snacks, and they have, area, where people can wait on the bus. It's covered, not like the bus shelters they have in downtown Miami, and where they only have a few bus routes, all the buses are there. So it's nice, it's great. It's, downtown is a little bit more enriched than Fort Lauderdale. So I want to know what you feel about that. Email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. Don't forget, you can also comment at the bottom of this page. I am your host, C Money. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated, because it is hot out here, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.